Cool. Good afternoon and welcome to the Surrey Sports Park for WBBL Championship action. A busy day in the WBBL with 5 fixtures, and the Sevenoaks Suns return here to the Sports Park to start their home 22-23 campaign against the Newcastle Eagles. Sevenoaks Suns 2-0 in the league so far. 1-1 in the league so far, having lost opening day to the London Lions 83-72 at the Copper Box. But coach Len Bush's side bounced back last week with a 122-50 win over the Oakland's Wolves at Oakland's College. As for the visitors, the Newcastle Eagles, they were also 1-1, having dropped their opening game to Caledonia 76-44, and then bounced back in their home opener last weekend, a 69-65 victory over the Nottingham Wildcats at the Virtue Motors Arena. And we'll start with the team news for the Sevenoaks Suns. And a new arrival has arrived and been cleared for the game. Deja Congleton from Glenville State, a D2 NCAA champion last year, has arrived yesterday and will suit up and play for Coach Len Bush and the Suns this afternoon. However, the Suns are down a couple of familiar faces. Amelia Watkins, currently in the States, and Katie Cox, unfortunately also not available for Coach Len Bush, but Hayley Miller is in kit and ready to make her first appearance of the season for the Suns. As for the Newcastle Eagles, also a new addition to the side announced earlier this morning, Antoinette Lewis as a new arrival. The forward out of South Alabama, wearing number 35, and having played her first pro season last year in Romania for Targu, and she will look to make an impact and bolster an already strong Eagles front court containing Katie Nolan and Chloe Gaynor. Nolan and Gaynor, combining for 28.5 points per game so far this season, and 26 rebounds between the two of them, and they were a staple in that Eagles win against the Nottingham Wildcats last weekend. Gaynor with a 10-point, 15 rebound double-double. Katie Nolan had 17 and 15. As for the Suns, they have been led so far this season by Renee Bush. Renee in her 7th season for the Suns, averaging 26.5 points per game so far, shooting 60% from the floor and 48% from the three-point line, along with 5 assists and 2.5 steals. This afternoon, Sevenoaks will be in their blue kit and Newcastle in their white away kit, and starters are just about to head out onto the floor for Sevenoaks. It'll be wearing 4 Julia Koppel, 8 Renee Bush, 10 Arion Bradshaw, 12 Janice Monacana, and 15 Judith Fritz. And as for the Eagles, it'll be 4 Zoe Willis, 5 Marina Fernandez Pardo, their captain, 8 Rachel Bland, 32 Katie Nolan, and 35 Antoinette Lewis. As the referees making their way onto the floor, and it looks like the Eagles will come out first, getting the final instructions from head coach NOELIA CACHEIRO and their assistant Luke Orwin as well on the sideline. As Coach Len Bush taking his time to get the final instructions into his son's side. And they look like they're now ready to head on onto the floor. As I said earlier, 1 of 5 WBBL Championship games this afternoon. The next 3 all tipping off at 4 o'clock. It will be the Essex Rebels against the Cardiff Met Archers, Sheffield Hatters against the Oakland Wolves, and the 2 undefeated sides, both in action at 2-0 this afternoon. Leicester Riders will host the London Lions. And then the evening game at the Nottingham Wildcats Arena, Nottingham Wildcats, Manchester Mystics. That'll be a 6 p.m. tip. But focus here will be at the Surrey Sports Park for the early game of this afternoon, as Suns finally make their way onto the floor. And it looks like Lewis and Koppel will be contesting the tip-off. A reminder, one of two games at the Surrey Sports Park this afternoon as well, with Surrey Scorchers taking on the Leicester Riders at 6 p.m. As tip is eventually controlled by Lewis for the Eagles, and it'll be Zoe Willis returning back to the UK, having finished her collegiate career at American International, to get the Eagles offense underway. It's Fernandez driving baseline, wraparound pass to Lewis, and Lewis will get her WBBL career underway with an easy 2 points. Lewis arrived in the country earlier this week and will also be at Newcastle University for BUSCH, as well as Koppel reverses the ball to Bush. Bradshaw now with 8 left on the shot clock, waiting for an action to develop, nothing coming, so she'll drive on her own, kick it out to Koppel, 18-foot jumper, a little bit short, and Rachel Bland, the veteran for the Eagles, will find Willis, and she'll get the ball over and get the Eagles set up in a horn set. Nolan coming up to set the screen, going to roll as Fernandez tried to reject it, but Bradshaw with the steal, she'll come away and have a chance to go at Willis in transition, drives and will get the contact. And Arion Bradshaw will head to the line for 2. Bradshaw, first year point guard out of the University of Dayton, Atlantic 10 Defensive Team of the Year last year. Bradshaw averaging 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists and 1.5 steals at Dayton. And a 63% free throw shooter, makes the first. Bradshaw averaging 9 free throws a game so far for the Suns. And she goes 2 of 2 to tie the game. Just over a minute in here at the Surrey Sports Park. As Willis bring the ball down in front of the bench, knocked away by Bradshaw. And with the Eagles struggling so far with having to play players out of position with the injury to Courtney Klassen, that Bradshaw-Willis matchup will be a key for Suns, as Nolan misses, but Lewis with an athletic rebound, put back too long. Nolan, second time, blocked by Koppel, and now Suns can come away with Bradshaw. 3-on-3 will find Fritz on the left wing, and she'll back it out and reset the offense. Fritz on the flare screen, going to fake the free dribble pull-up, a little bit long, and Lewis collecting the weak side rebound, as Rachel Bland pushing in transition, found by Willis. She'll kick out to Fernandez for the free. Free is up and good for Marina Fernandez. Fernandez shooting the free at 23% in the WBBL, both this year and last year so far, but knocks that down as Fritz thinks about it, will settle for it at the top, just a little bit short, and Zoe Willis with a great rebound, having boxed out Bradshaw. And she'll hand off to Rachel Bland, looking for Fernandez on the low block, post up against Renee Bush. She'll go to work on the matchup. Little scoop layup short. And Renee Bush now, again, Sevenoaks looking for advantage in transition. But Eagles back once again and able to slow him down as Monacana on the wing fakes, drives on Lewis. And she brings her hands down and will be called for the foul. And Monacana will head to the line for 2. First personal, second team foul on the Eagles. As Monacana makes the first, Janice Monacana, who had announced retirement at the end of last season, but with her studying opportunities being a little bit less intense than she thought, and a lot of persuasion from Coach Len Bush, has decided to come back. And Monacana makes no mistake as Fritz deflects the inbound pass, claiming last touch was off Fernandez, but referees decide it was off her. And it'll be Eagles retaining possession as Bland dropped the ball, but able to pick it up. And Fernandez this time running the operation for the Eagles. Lewis reversing the ball to Willis. As Fernandez off the stagger screen, Rene Busch, good defence, denied that, and Zoe Willis just dribbling, nowhere to go. She's going to try and throw it inside to Lewis on a high low, but can't get away with it, and Lewis will be called for the reach in, and that'll be Lewis's second foul, 10 seconds apart, and we'll see if the Eagles go to the bench or not. Coach CACHEIRO just talking with assistant coach Orwin there about it, but decides too early to make the sub, so Lewis will continue with 2 fouls in the game. And Sevenoaks in a horn set with Monacana slipping to the basket. Koppel now will drive against Lewis, lay up a little bit too strong, and Nolan pulls down her first rebound of the afternoon on the defensive end. As Lewis now in the high post, going to drive on Koppel. Pull-up jump shot off the glass is good. And Lewis with 4 quick points. Leads, helps the Eagles into a 7-4 lead. 3:30 gone in the first quarter. Monacana driving, and a foul called on Nolan. Looked like she got a hand on the ball, but got also a bit of the arm as well. And Janice Monacana will go back to line for the second time this afternoon. Monacana, 75% free throw shooter in the WBBL Championship last season, as she averaged 15 points in just over 23 minutes, with the Suns being a little bit short-handed roster-wise at the moment. And Monacana's minutes up at 31 this year, as Fernandez gets the outlet. And she will drive on Busch, nowhere to go, met by a double team, dumps it off to Katie Nolan. And Nolan lays it home for 2. The Eagles leading scorer left wide open on the double team, as Koppel from 20 feet connects on the long 2. And we're back to a 1-point game with 4 minutes gone in the first quarter here at the Surrey Sports Park. As Willis driving, finds Bland. 9 now on the shot clock. Bland will fire up the 3 and knock it down. The Eagles, who did not take many 3-pointers last week against Nottingham, just 16 of their 76 field goal attempts were from downtown. Connect on 2 early here, and they are up 4, as Fritz on the skip pass from Bradshaw replies with a 3 of her own. First 3 of the afternoon for the Suns. Judah Fritz, her 5th year here at Sevenoaks, her 8th year total in the WBBL, having had spent her previous 3 years at Cardiff. As Fernandez gets the ball across on the double team. Nolan tries to find Fernandez, turns it over, and foul will be on Fernandez, as Rene Busch came in for the steal, and Newcastle in team fouls will send Sevenoaks to the line for 2. And it'll be Rene Busch, 89% free throw shooter, to the line, with a chance to give the Sevenoaks Suns their first lead of the afternoon. And a rare miss there for Busch at the line. It was the first foul on Fernandez, as Busch makes the second, and we are tied at 12 midway through this opening quarter. And this time Eagles deal with the pressure a little bit more successfully, and Fernandez now trying to get the offense orchestrated. Monacana briefly lost Lewis, but able to get back to the matchup. 6 now on the shot clock for Zoe Willis, working on Fritz, picks up her dribble, finds Lewis, turnaround jump shot short, and Julia Koppel will come back for the ball, as Bradshaw's going to push downhill, drive straight past Zoe Willis, lays it home for 2, And there it is, the Suns' first lead of the afternoon. As Willis into Nolan on the free throw line. Fritz able to dig down and help, but Nolan will back down. Koppel go to the right-handed scoop and make it. Katie Nolan up to 6 points personal already, and we are tied once again at 14. As Fritz now driving across the key, well defended by Bland, has to go to a hook layup, but a really tough finish by Fritz there over Bland, who did well not to foul. And Sevenoaks again once in the full court pressure this time. Lewis coming back, hands it off to Fernandez to get it into the front court. She'll settle for the pull-up too, leave it short, but get her own rebound, reverse layup, and she will go to line for two as Julia Koppel reached in. And it'll be the Eagles captain going to the line. Fernandez, who went 1 of 4 on her opening day against Caledonia, able to make the first. Fernandez shooting 80% from the line last season. Unable to get the second, but gets her own rebound. Fernandez up and over Monicana. And coach Len Bush visibly frustrated with another Newcastle offensive rebound. As Fritz again fakes the free, trying to drive, nowhere to go, kicks it to Monicana. She'll get the right wing, three up and connect. As a back and forth opening quarter. And Suns pressure able to force a direct out of bounds pass from Eagles, so the ball will return from where the ball was inbounded, so it'll be end line ball for the Suns. 14 on the shot clock as Deja Congleton will inbound it. Oh, sorry, Bradshaw will inbound it. Congleton still on the bench as Fritz driving baseline, able to stay in bounds, finds Bradshaw. 7 on the shot clock, gonna isolate on Zoe Willis, drive and kick. Monicana, 3 in and out this time, but another good look for Janice Monicana. And Fernandez looking for Lewis, instead skips it to Willis. She will settle for the 3, but leave it short. And Monicana finds Bradshaw as Fernandez avoids the foul in transition. Bradshaw drive and kick to Koppel. And Julia Koppel will be up to 4 points personal as Bland goes coast to coast. Sevenoaks Suns asleep in transition, trying to find matchups. And Rachel Bland lays it home for 2. Back to a 2-point game here at the Surrey Sports Park. Fritz finds Koppel. Koppel again along 2, this time a little bit off, but the rebound will be chased down by Monicana in the weak side corner. She'll reverse it to Bradshaw as Fritz looking for the screen from Koppel. 3 on the shot clock, find Bradshaw. 3 up and long, but Monicana again, another weak side rebound. Timeout has been requested by the Eagles. As Bush now looking to work off the screen, going to get all the way to the rim, missed the layup, and ball last touch Katie Nolan, and we will get the timeout by the Newcastle Eagles. 1:32 left of the opening quarter. It's Sevenoaks Suns 21, Newcastle Eagles 19. And welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park. We've got 1:32 left of this opening quarter between the Sevenoaks Suns and Newcastle Eagles in the WBBL Championship round 3. It's Sevenoaks leading by 2, and they will have the end-line ball coming out of the timeout. As the Eagles going with an unchanged 5, so all 5 starters still in the game for the Eagles, despite new signing Antoinette Lewis picking up 2 early fouls. And as for the Suns, checking in for the first time wearing 7, their new addition, Deja Congleton, the D2 national champion last year at Glenville State. She is replacing Janice Monacana as Congleton driving, kicks it. Bush, wide open look from the free right wing, and Renee Bush makes no mistake. The WBBL leading scorer through 2 weeks. As Lewis looking for Bland on the press break, but intercepted by Fritz. Bradshaw will fire up the quick 3 and unable to go, but Sevenoaks with another offensive rebound. It was Eagles dominating the offensive boards early, but now Suns starting to make their mark as we're into the last minute, as Bradshaw driving on Bland comes back to the near side of the basket, and that will force Rachel Bland to commit the foul, her first personal, and Eagles in the penalty. So Bradshaw will go to the line for the second time this afternoon. Suns 7 of 8 so far from the line in this opening quarter. As the first just rims out. Second by Bradshaw, good. So Sevenoaks into a 6-point lead. And again, showing full court pressure, Bradshaw this time picking up Fernandez. She's double teamed into the half. Bradshaw and Bush combined for the steal. And now Bush will walk into the transition 3, in and out. And Katie Nolan able to pull down the board. Bland skips it to Zoe Willis. Zoe Willis not picked up too late. She'll drive on Koppel, but Koppel with the 2-handed block. And now Congleton down in transition. Nolan able to put pressure on it, and Congleton can't connect. And last touch by the Suns. So it'll be Newcastle ball with 27 seconds left on the game clock. So Newcastle ideally will probably try and run all this down and shoot at the back end of the clock to make sure Sevenoaks do not get another good look to end this opening quarter. As Lewis got the mismatch inside on Congleton. Eagles unable to work the ball into the post zone, and now be with Willis. Willis nearly has it stolen by Bradshaw, but 4 now on the shot clock. Willis going to have to fire up the long 2, can't connect. And the referees look like they blew the whistle. So it'll be a 24-second violation, and we'll see if they put any more time back on the clock. There should be, in theory, 3 seconds left, but it looks like we will stick with 1.4. And Fritz will dribble it out, and that will end the first quarter here at the Surrey Sports Park. Sevenoaks Suns, having trailed early, lead the Newcastle Eagles 25 points to 19. And we'll take a quick break here from the Surrey Sports Park and rejoin you for the start of the second quarter. And welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park, where after the end of the first quarter, it's Sevenoaks Suns 25, Newcastle Eagles 19. Sevenoaks being led with 7 points from Janice Monacana, and the Eagles 6 points from Katie Nolan and Marina Fernandez. Newcastle, who are second in the league, coming in turnovers per game at 27. Had 7 first quarter turnovers, with the Sevenoaks full court pressure causing some issues, but Sevenoaks unable to capitalise. 0 points off turnovers in the opening quarter for coach Len Bush's side, as Arion Bradshaw will get the Suns offense going to start the second quarter. Congleton working inside, kicks it to Bush, as Koppel now 5 on the shot clock, drives, nowhere to go, kicks it to Congleton. 3 is blocked by Rachel Bland, and Katie Nolan able to come up with the ball. And she'll advance it down the wing to Fernandez and get it back to get the Eagles set up in the half court. Lewis flashing into the high post. Passing lane jump by Fritz, and she will go coast to coast and lay it home for 2. And finally, the Sevenoaks Suns able to capitalise on the turnovers. And they lead by 8 points early in this second quarter. Nolan looking for options, finds Willis on the 3-point line. She looks like she gets contact, and referee acknowledges that, and the foul will be called on Deja Congleton, her first personal, first team foul of the quarter. And the Eagles now working with 14 seconds on the shot clock from the side, out of bounds. Bland into Nolan, working on the elbow. She's going to back down. Koppel go to the left-handed layup. Can't get it to go. Ball tipped. Comes back to Nolan. She's blocked by Koppel. And now Sevenoaks can go 3-on-2 in transition. It's Congleton leading the way. No one stops the ball. She kicks to Renee Bush instead of potentially getting the open layup. But the Suns work it round to Fritz. But that 3 is off to the left, and Nolan again with another strong rebound. She's already up to 6 rebounds on the afternoon, Katie Nolan, as Bland goes back door. Acrobatic scoop layup comes off the back of the backboard, so that is out of bounds. So Suns ball from the end line as Janice Monacana heads to the scorer's table. And after a 3.5-minute break or so of game action, she'll replace Deja Congleton. Congleton probably on reduced minutes, having only arrived yesterday. And obviously still learning the Suns' offense as well. As Bradshaw to Koppel, she'll line up the straightaway 3 and connect. Koppel, who had not taken a 3 in the first 2 games of the year, makes it. And the Sevenoaks Suns into a double-digit lead. It's 30 points to 19 as Lewis fires up the 3. Nolan inside on the rebound, and she will be fouled, I believe, by Bradshaw, but wait for referee Ian Green's signal. In fact, no foul is called on Koppel. That'll be her second personal foul. And Katie Nolan, who's shooting 71% so far from the line, will head there for the Newcastle Eagles' second chance this afternoon. The big difference between the two sides really in the first quarter was the free throw attempts. Sevenoaks were 8 of 10 in the opening quarter from the line. Newcastle Eagles just 1 of 2. As Nolan splits the pair and reduces the gap to 10. As Koppel, another long 2, this time from the right wing, uncontested. Can't get it to go, and Rachel Bland will receive the outlet, looking for options. And we'll find her point guard, Zoe Willis, on the right-hand side. Willis into Nolan on the 3-point line. Fernandez driving into the key, knocked loose by Bradshaw. She'll find a cutting Lewis. Lewis up, and Monacana will be called for the blocking foul, moving to her left. And Antoinette Lewis will go to the line for 2 shots. Lewis shot 55% from the line last season in Romania, 47% in a final year at Alabama. Lewis makes the first as the crowd in the Surrey Sports Park trying to make some noise to put Lewis off, and able to help assist, missing the second free throw. So the gap down to 9 as Rene Bush. Fernandez goes under the screen, gets away with it as Bush doesn't fire at the free. Monicana getting contact from Lewis, and Koppel on the putback will be fouled by Katie Nolan. Looked like Monicana may have got away with a travel there. Be interesting to try and see. But Koppel able to collect the Suns' 5th offensive rebound of the afternoon and will earn another trip to the free throw line. Julia Koppel shot just 43% from the line last season, but able to, sorry, 43% so far this season. And she's able to go 2 of 2, and she'll take a break for the first time this afternoon as Deja Congleton into the game for the second time this afternoon, as Suns back again in the full court press. Fernandez being guarded by Rene Bush will get the screen from Lewis, and that allows Fernandez to get downhill. Fritz steps up and made her able to dish the ball off to Willis. She'll drive into the middle of the key and flip it home for 2 as Fernandez nearly gets a steal on the inbound, but Bradshaw able to bring the ball up, and she'll find Monicana. And now Congleton working on the mismatch with Nolan, able to blow by, and Deja Congleton with her first points as a Sevenoaks Sun and as a pro extends this Eagles lead up to 11. As for the first time, coach NOELIA CACHEIRO has someone at the bench as Nolan misses, gets her own rebound and puts it home for 2. Nolan up to 9 points personal, and it is Molly Arnold at the bench for the visitors. Arnold with 5 big points last week, as Janice Monicana with a really pretty move on Lewis. Looked like she was going to back it out and then cut back to the basket, got the left-hand layup to go. And Janice Monicana joins Katie Nolan on 9 points personal and will be called for her second blocking foul in quick succession, as Lewis was driving Monicana there not quite in time. So Antoinette Lewis will go back to the free throw line, and here we'll see the Eagles sub as Molly Arnold check in, replacing Katie Nolan. Nolan on those 2 personal fouls. And yeah, as I said earlier, Arnold with 2 big buckets down the stretch last week at home against Nottingham Wildcats to help propel the Eagles to that 69-65 victory. And Lewis 2 of 2. And we've got a single-digit game here at the Surrey Sports Park as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. As Bradshaw gonna drive straight past Zoe Willis. No real resistance from the Eagles. The help rotation too late as well. And Bradshaw able to convert the wide open layup. As Willis now getting the Eagles set, trying to send Lewis down, but obviously Lewis still struggling as the high-low pass, and a foul will be called. It is on, I believe, number 7, Congleton. That'll be her second personal foul, as Katie Nolan, who'd got about a minute's breather, back into the game, and she will replace Zoe Willis. With the Suns in team fouls, Antoinette Lewis will go back to the line. 3 of 4 so far this afternoon. A reminder, Lewis arrived early this week, having spent last year, first season as a pro in Romania. And she will split the free throws as Renee Bush. Cross-court pass to Monacana, this time from Bradshaw. And Janice Monacana, her second free of the afternoon. And the first player into double digits this afternoon as Bland trapped just over the halfway line. And Fernandez fires up the three. Can't get it to go, but Lewis able to collect the offensive rebound, her second. And she will now be the first Newcastle Eagle into double digits with 10 points as Bradshaw, again looking to go downhill, this time too strong on the layup. And Lewis will work it over into the front court. Fernandez looked like she's going to come for the handoff and faked to get open, but it allowed the Suns to switch the matchup as Nolan working on Monacana goes up and over, and Monacana's arms not straight up, so she'll be called for her third personal foul, and Katie Nolan will head to line to chance to complete the three-point play as Monacana on her third foul does check out the game and will be placed by Koppel. And Nolan does indeed convert and will join her teammate Lewis on 10 points personal as the gap is cut to 8. Bradshaw now working to find Renee Bush. Bush being relatively quiet this afternoon on the scoring front as Fritz again fakes the three, steps into the long two and can't get it to go, and Lewis pulls down her fifth rebound of the contest. Katie Nolan, in fact, now on 11 points personal and 10 rebounds, so her first half double-double as Marina Fernandez drives but will get called for the offensive foul, a push-off on Bradshaw, and second personal foul for Fernandez, and coach Len Bush will call his first timeout of the afternoon with the Sevenoaks Suns trailing 41 points to 33 over the Newcastle Eagles. And welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park, where we've got WBBL Championship action between the Sevenoaks Suns and the Newcastle Eagles. Suns leading by 8 with just under 4 minutes left of the opening half. Both teams coming into this contest at 1-1, having both picked up their first win last weekend. And Sevenoaks taking their time to get onto the floor. Last minute player communication as they need to run back into the backcourt to inbound the ball after that offensive foul called on the Eagles captain Marina Fernandez. And it will be Ariane Bradshaw to get the Suns set up. Renee Bush off stagger screen, able to get a wide open three. And Renee Bush, her second three of the afternoon, up to 7 points personal, and Suns back into a double-digit lead. That lead being around most of the second quarter as Lewis working for position is double teamed, can't get it to go, and Koppel able to tip it out to Bush. She'll fire the cross-court pass to Bradshaw, And Bradshaw able to make the triple, her first of the afternoon through 3 attempts. As Bland looking to return the favour, indeed does. Bland's second of the afternoon. And both teams trading threes right now in a high-scoring encounter as Katie Nolan trying to bump the curl of Renee Bush off the screen. She'll get called for the holding foul, and that'll be Katie Nolan's third personal foul. And Zoe Willis will go to the scorer's table, and she'll come in for Nolan on those 3 fouls. Third team foul for the Sevenoaks Suns, so it'll be sideline possession. A lot of communication going on the floor. With both teams having new players. Congleton coming off the baseline. But Bradshaw now instead, ball screen finds Congleton. She'll drive on Arnold, get into the paint, kick it out. Good ball movement by the Suns, gets Bradshaw wide open look, but just a little bit too strong. Same spot for Bradshaw. Again, same result, just can't go. But Congleton able to pick up the rebound. Her pass tipped away, but she'll retain possession. 7 on the shot clock. Bradshaw now working on Arnold, drive and kick. Congleton for 3. Another great look for the Suns, but again, can't connect. And now be Fernandez driving, gets the ball stripped by Bradshaw. Great defensive play. And she'll now look to push in transition. Fritz just stay behind the 3-point line, but a little bit too strong. And right now, Sevenoaks Suns on a little bit of a cool spell from the 3-point line as Julia Koppel trying to draw contact, but as she was going down, her hand came down and caught the arm of Antoinette Lewis. And Julia Koppel will pick up her 3rd personal foul. And that will see Len Bush head to the bench. With Monicana also on 3 fouls, it will be Katie Richards checking in for the first time this afternoon. And an interesting tactical decision here by the Eagles and head coach Noelia CACHEIRO. With the Suns being small at the moment, she will insert Katie Nolan back into the game on those 3 personal fouls. So Nolan will have to be careful at the defensive end, but on the offensive end, except the Eagles to look for the mismatch as Lewis can't get the second to go, and Fritz able to come up with her 2nd rebound of the afternoon. And Zoe Willis called for the reach-in foul on Bradshaw. 2nd personal foul on Willis, 4th team foul on the Eagles. And it'll be Renee Bush to trigger the sideline possession. Shot clock at 15. As Bush all the way through gets a good look at the 3 and again can't connect. Sevenoaks missed their last 5 3-pointers now. As Lewis trying to reverse the ball to Willis, but Fritz jumps in the passing lane and she'll go coast to coast for 2. Fritz with 1.5 steals a game coming in based on last year, and she'll extend this lead to 11. And with 1:05 left of the first half, Eagles will call their 2nd timeout of the contest, trailing by 13. And welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park. First game of a double-header here this afternoon, as at 6 o'clock the Surrey Scorchers back in action. They'll take on the defending BBL champions Leicester Riders. But first of all, we have this WBBL contest with the Sevenoaks Suns and Newcastle Eagles, as Eagles come out of the timeout with a press break. Zoe Willis able to get an early paint touch, but she'll kick it out to Nolan, and now come and receive the handoff from her captain Marina Fernandez. Eagles trying to post up, pass over the top, but Bradshaw reads it and she'll come in for the steal, and Suns again able to push in transition. Renee Bush run off the 3-point line. Congleton to Bradshaw, Bradshaw wide open, and again the free ball doesn't go, despite another good look for the Suns. Bradshaw a little bit dejected on that, and the Eagles will get possession with 38 seconds left of the opening half, trailing by 13. It is the Suns' second biggest lead of the game. Now it's Coach Len Bush looking like he wanted to trap the ball, but the shot clock a little bit late to start, so play will come to a quick halt as the officials spotted it, and they will head to the scorers table to discuss what they'd like on both the game and shot clock. Newcastle Eagles now up to 12 turnovers on the afternoon, and the game clock will be brought down to 34 seconds and 20 on the shot clock. And it will be Rachel Bland who will trigger the sideline possession for the Eagles. And she'll try and get it in to Katie Nolan, deflected away by Katie Richards. And she'll have to give it out as Bradshaw gets the hand on the ball once again, knocks it loose. And Eagles now with 12 seconds to go, but Arion Bradshaw causing the Eagles all sorts of problems with deflections, as Willis finds a cutting Fernandez. She'll get to the lane, blow the open layup, and Renee Bush will come up with the rebound. And Suns with 10 seconds left in the quarter. Congleton going to drive on the short closeout by Willis, go up and over. Willis does not connect. Nolan to Fernandez from half court. Good if it goes off the backboard, and it nearly drops for the Eagles captain. And that will do it for the first half here at the Surrey Sports Park. Sevenoaks Suns 49, Newcastle Eagles 36. Janice Monacana leading scorer for the Suns with 12 points. And Arion Bradshaw with 10 points, 5 assists. As Suns dodging a little bit of foul trouble. 8 personal fouls in the first half for the Suns, but just on 3 players, leaves Koppel and Monacana on 3 fouls apiece going into the half. And as for the Eagles, Katie Nolan with a 12-point, 11 rebound double-double. And Rachel Bland and Antoinette Lewis both on 8 points apiece. Lewis also with 8 rebounds, so she'll be on double-double watch in the second half. But for now, we will take a break here at the Surrey Sports Park. Half-time, Sevenoaks Suns 49, Newcastle Eagles 36.
Number 10. Number 10. If we win, I'm getting my son McDonald's. Please get us a win. Next time, yeah. But if you give us a win, I'm getting a little man McDonald's. All right, fine. Fine. Happy meal. Happy meal.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Surrey Sports Park for WBBL Championship Reaction. A very busy Saturday with 5 games. The first here being at the Sports Park between the Sevenoaks Suns and the Newcastle Eagles. At half-time it's Sevenoaks Suns 49, Newcastle Eagles 36, and Janice Monacana leading the way with 12 points for the Suns. And as for the Eagles, a first half double-double by Katie Nolan, 10 points, 11 rebounds, closely followed by new arrival Antoinette Lewis with 10 points and 8 rebounds of her own. Eagles first onto the floor for the second half will come out with their starting five. That's wearing 8 Rachel Bland, 4 Zoe Willis, 5 Marina Fernandez, 32 Katie Nolan, and wearing 35 Antoinette Lewis. As for the Suns, starting 5 also back on the floor, so it'll be 4 Julia Koppel, 8 Renee Bush, 10 Arion Bradshaw, 12 Janice Monacana, and 15 Judith Fritz. Monacana, Koppel and Nolan all playing on 3 personal fouls as Eagles get a layup to start the second half, but Nolan misses. Lewis with the rebound, and she will be tied up with Bradshaw. Bradshaw getting her hands on a lot of basketballs on the defensive end in the first half. The Atlantic 10 Defensive Team of the Year player from the University of Dayton in her first professional season. As Monacana looking for Fritz, finds Bradshaw on the right wing. She's got Zoe Willis. Matchup she had success with in the first half, but this time Zoe Willis able to force the ball loose, and Eagles will come up with it as Willis just about gets it over in time to avoid the 8-second violation. And it'll be Katie Nolan at the top of the 3-point line receiving the ball, get it back to her point guard. 3 now on the clock. Willis has to go to a running jump shot, and Bradshaw will pull down her 3rd rebounder of the afternoon. She'll find Monacana. Monacana with a famous left drive, and she'll be fouled by Lewis. That'll be her 3rd personal foul. Lewis, who picked up 2 fouls in the first 3.5 minutes of this contest, but almost exclusively stayed in the game outside of about a minute break in the second quarter. And she'll now again have to deal with foul trouble as Monacana notches up the half century for the Suns. Monacana perfect 5 of 5. Make that 6 of 6 from the free throw line this afternoon. And Sevenoaks, their biggest lead of the contest at 15. Eagles did lead by 4 early on as Fernandez gets the layup but leaves it a little bit short. And now Monacana again with that left drive, this time too strong on the layup, but we'll find Koppel wide open underneath. And Julia Koppel lays it home for 2, and she's the 3rd Sevenoaks player into double figures this afternoon. As Fernandez gets away, maybe with a little push off on Bland, but play will continue. It's Nolan now in the post working on Koppel. Koppel does well to get straight up, but Nolan gets her own rebound and again leaves the putback a little short. Katie Nolan now 4 of 12 shooting on the afternoon as Renee Bush spin move, can't get the layup to go, but Bradshaw stays in bounds, gets the offensive rebound, and both teams now just struggling to convert inside the paint as Zoe Willis finds Fernandez. Fritz on the closeout gets beaten, but Fernandez is along 2, in and out. Eagles still scoreless, 2.5 minutes into the 3rd quarter as Monacana working on Lewis. Going to drive in between 2 Eagles, no foul, and Zoe Willis able to receive the handoff. Looked like she got a little bit of Monacana's arm in her chin, but able to continue now, backing down on Bradshaw, and Bradshaw called for the reach in. Her first personal foul of the afternoon, 1st team foul on the Suns, and it will be Zoe Willis to the line. Zoe Willis, a former Barking Abbey and GB international at junior level, Her first season back from the States, having graduated from American International last year, averaging 5 points, 5 rebounds a game in 20 minutes. Willis unable to make either. She was 3 of 5 from the line for the Eagles. And the lead 17 as Monicana's straightaway 3 is short.
Get the next one. That's all right. That's all right.
And Zoe Willis just chatting it over with the referee on the baseline. And she will get the ball and inbound it to her captain, Marina Fernandez. And looks like maybe Zoe Willis is coming out of the game, maybe, we'll see. Look, that blow to the jaw she had from Monicana, the reason, but Willis able to stay in the game at Sevenoaks with the full court pressure, going to make Eagles work to bring it over. And Fernandez splits the double team that was coming. Suns got some success from the trap as in the first half as Bland. 3 doesn't go. Nolan trying to find Lewis inside. Scrappy phase of possession and a tie-up between Koppel and Lewis. And the possession arrow says Sevenoaks Suns, sorry, Newcastle Eagles ball. And it'll be 11 on the shot clock as the ball comes in from the end line. Reminder, Eagles still scoreless in the third quarter.
Good defense, good defense.
As Fernandez comes off the screen from Nolan, nowhere to go. Willis under pressure, going to force it up to beat the buzzer. Can't connect, and that will be a 24-second violation. Lewis able to get the offensive rebound, but shot clock had expired. And more turnover issues for the Newcastle Eagles. They had 7 in the first quarter and 13 at the break as an illegal screen is called. Foul called on Renee Bush. That's her first personal foul. Second team foul on the Suns. And Zoe Willis again bringing the ball up under pressure from Bradshaw. Comes off the screen, Koppel traps it, ball is loose. Koppel will be given the steal and Suns come away but unable to create anything in transition. Now Bradshaw, as Willis gets caught up on the screen, Nolan from behind blocked, but Koppel able to keep it alive. And Rachel Bland tips it out of bounds. Sevenoaks retain possession, 11 on the shot clock. And it'll be Bradshaw to trigger the inbound. Bush off a double screen, unable to get wide enough open to catch, but but she now turns it over and outlet pass to Lewis. Lewis converts the left-handed layup and Newcastle Eagles have their first points in just over 7 minutes of action. It was 2:51 mark of the second quarter where they last scored as Monicana gets a wide open wing 3, but Sevenoaks Suns struggling again from downtown. They started off well as Fernandez at the other end can't convert on the 3 of her own, and now Bradshaw able to, well, she tries to push, but Rachel Bland got the deflection as Judith Fritz looked like she was going to have a layup, and it'll be Marina Fernandez on the right wing looking for Antoinette Lewis in the high post. She'll take the foul line jump shot and connect. And a bit like London buses, Newcastle Eagles back-to-back baskets to get their tally going, and they'll try and claw out of this 17-point deficit that they had as Koppel, lane wide open to the left. No spacing on the floor for the Sevenoaks Suns, but enough room for Koppel to have a straight line drive, and she will get her 13th point of the contest to go with 8 rebounds as Marina Fernandez hands it off to Katie Nolan. Nolan stripped by Bradshaw. Monacana tries to kick it ahead, and Rachel Bland, again a terrific job by Bland in transition defense to get into the passing lanes and deflections. Not quite coming up with the steals on her own, but certainly saving points on the board in transition. And it'll be Bradshaw to trigger from the sideline, come off a double screen, and room to drive off it. Kicks to Monacana, thinks about the three, will hand it to Fritz. Pump fake, drive, well defended by Bland, can't connect on anything, and last touch Katie Nolan. So Sevenoaks ball. However, the referees are going to have a little conference as a timeout is called. And I believe out of the timeout, the referees talking to each other have signalled Newcastle Eagles ball. So out of the timeout it'll be Eagles ball, but they trail 40 points to 55 here at the Surrey Sports Park. 4 minutes left of the third quarter. And welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park with 4 minutes left of the third quarter. Sevenoaks leading 55 points to 40. Will be Eagles ball. And while we're away in the timeout, Coach Len Bush, finding out that it was Eagles ball, was not all too happy with the officials, and he asked if he could have his timeout back, clearly calling it to try and work on an end line play. But that will have to be saved for another opportunity. And you can see Crew Chief Ian Green just talking it over there with Coach Len Bush. And I think quite cheeky of Len to try and ask for his timeout back. He was not going to be successful with that, but all the credit for trying, as we get a offensive foul out of the press from the Suns. Foul called on Zoe Willis for the push-off. Ball in the front court, so 14 seconds on the shot clock. It'll be the third personal foul on Zoe Willis, second team foul on the Eagles. As Fritz taking yet another charge, add that to the tally. If Dan Routledge was keeping stats on charges taken, Judith Fritz would be well up there in the WBBL leaders. As Suns with a very rare turnover. It's their only 5th turnover of the afternoon for Sevenoaks. As Fernandez trying to beat Renee Bush, but Bush comes up with the steal and then loses the handle of it. And again, Eagles' lack of point guard play really causing issues, as Deja Congleton into the game for the first time of the second half. Congleton, who arrived yesterday in her first pro season out of Glenville State, will wear 7 for the Suns, as Bland against the press break forces it ahead to Zoe Willis. Willis gets an open look, and technical foul called, I believe. Technical foul indeed called on Ariane Bradshaw for distracting the shooter illegally on the three-point attempt by Zoe Willis. So it'll be a Eagles free throw.
Hey, even I didn't know that. What?
And referees will discuss possession because obviously it happened during the act of shooting, so technically the rebound never happened. Good luck statisticians dealing with that one. It's Sarah Booth and Cara Allen down there. And we'll see what the referees come up with. And it'll be Eagles Marina Fernandez to go to the line. As the Sevenoaks crowd trying to make some noise. Fernandez gets it to go. And now they're going to go jump ball because there was no rebounds, and possession arrow in favour of the Sevenoaks Suns. So Suns ball leading 55 points to 41, 3:20 left of the third quarter. As Bradshaw able to get all the way through, reverses the ball to Compton, finds Monacana. Three is up and good. And Sevenoaks finally bring their three-point shooting streak, Coltlump, to an end. As Fernandez tries to apply at the other end, in and out. Good box out by Fritz on Lewis. And Bradshaw now able to beat Willis, driving to the lane. An offensive foul is called. Julia Koppel was trying to seal on Katie Nolan, but Nolan took position, feet set, and that'll be the fourth foul on Julia Koppel. And Coach Busch immediately turns around to the bench, and Renee Busch will come in and replace Koppel.
She comes out again. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist and 4 fouls. 3 blocks for Jane. Renee Busch to do.
And we're back underway, but Eagles again turning the ball over against the press. This time Lewis, Renee Busch coming up with it, and now Fritz working on Lewis to the lane. A little bit of contact, referee's happy with it. And Zoe Willis bringing the ball away, trying to find Rachel Bland, who tries to traverse the baseline, but unfortunately just a little bit too far onto the line. And it'll be another Eagles turnover. And it will be Bradshaw once again to get the Suns offense sent. Monacana left wing, working on Nolan, crosses over, drives, nowhere to go. Good defense by Nolan. Monacana step through, and Janice Monacana proving why she's so dangerous, up to 19 points personal on the afternoon. Monacana had 15 points a game last season in just 23 minutes. With a more expanded role, as Bradshaw knocks it away from Zoe Willis, and she'll go coast to coast, lay it home for 2. And Bradshaw credited now with her 5th steal of the afternoon, along with 5 assists, 5 rebounds and 10 points in her home debut here at the Surrey Sports Park. And the Sevenoaks lead up to a game-high 21 as Lewis driving. Congleton trying to take the charge, but her feet were inside the circle, so no call by the officials. And Antoinette Lewis gets her tally on her Eagles debut up to 16 as Congleton tries to respond. Layup over Rachel Bland doesn't go, but Renee Busch will collect the Suns' 11th offensive rebound of the afternoon. And the ball will be reset with Busch working on Fernandez, crosses over, and Rachel Bland called for the blocking foul, moving to her right. A terrific move by Renee Busch, and she will go to the line for the 2nd time this afternoon. Busch, who split her first free throw attempts earlier this afternoon, as Eagles substitution. Molly Arnold checking back into the game wearing 16. Zoe Willis will take a breather as Renee Bush able to make both her free throws. As we're into the final minute of the third quarter here at the Surrey Sports Park. Arnold gets it over, but Bush gets her hands on it. And she will find Fritz with the bounce pass. Monicana down the lane. No one at home for the Eagles, but Janice Monicana misses the layup. And Lewis looking to go coast to coast, cut off by Bradshaw, will find Fernandez. Three doesn't go. Nolan offensive rebound, can't go. Lewis will have a third opportunity to score, and she does. Eagles crushing the glass well, had success certainly early on, and Sevenoaks since then have done a little bit better job, but third time the charm that time for the Eagles, who now trail by 19 with the shot clock off. And it'll be Bradshaw working on Rachel Bland. 6 seconds to go. Going to have an isolation. Key wide open. Drives all the way across and will draw contact. Foul is on 8. Bland for the push. Her third personal. And with 2.5 seconds left of the quarter, Arion Bradshaw will go to the line. Bradshaw 3 of 4 on the afternoon so far, 61% on the season. Makes both, so she's up to 14 personal, 2.5 seconds for the Eagles. Bradshaw gets the steal, will throw it up to beat the buzzer. Doesn't quite drop, but another steal for Bradshaw. 6 on the afternoon now. And it was the 22nd turnover for the Eagles. And we'll take a break here at the Surrey Sports Park. End of three quarters, Sevenoaks Suns 66, Newcastle Eagles 45.
Sevenoaks Suns within that third period.
I think we're going to win.
17 points to none. 8-3. Starting from third period then, it's 66-45.
And welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park, where we're about to start the fourth quarter of this first game of WBBL action. There's 5 games today. The next 3 all tipping off in about 5 minutes' time, as the Essex Rebels will host the Cardiff Met Archers, the Leicester Riders will host the London Lions, and the Sheffield Hatters will host Oakland's Wolves. 6 p.m. tip-off in the last game of the day will be Nottingham Wildcats, Manchester Met Mystics. Obviously the last week of WBBL Championship action before we take a break. Next week, WBBL Cup action will be happening. 4 first-round games due to be played. Sevenoaks Suns, with their second seed from the league last year, will have a bye in the opening round. Newcastle Eagles will have another long trip down to the southeast. This time they'll head to Colchester to face off against the Essex Rebels. And that will happen next Saturday, as a little bit of a clock issue to start the 4th quarter here at the Surrey Sports Park. Reminder, both these teams came into the game at 1-1, having both won last weekend. The Sevenoaks Suns with a 72-point victory at Oaklands, and the Newcastle Eagles a 4-point victory at the Virtue Motors Arena against the Nottingham Wildcats. And a little shot clock, game clock issue to start the 4th quarter. Now fixed, so 3 seconds have run off. So 21 on the shot clock. Rachel Bland to inbound. And we're now properly underway for the 4th quarter, as Antoinette Lewis just about gets the ball. It was Congleton trying to come in from the weak side for a steal, and instead gives up a layup. So Antoinette Lewis on her debut for the Eagles up to 20 points personal to go with 11 rebounds. Lewis, who arrived earlier this week, having completed a first season as a pro last year in Romania, comes up with the steal. She's going to work on Fritz. Will go straight through Fritz. No call, but enough defensive pressure by Fritz to force the missed layup, as Congleton unable to run down the overthrown pass by Bradshaw. And Sevenoaks with their 7th turnover of the afternoon, as Bradshaw this time comes up with the steal and can't connect on the 3. And the Eagles' turnover woes continue coming into this game, averaging 27 turnovers a game, 2nd in the league behind only the Oaklands Wolves, who are obviously still missing all their senior players. The 3 Australian imports due to arrive some point in the next couple of weeks, as Renee Bush picks up the missed layup from Nolan, finds Fritz, and she will lay it home for 2. Judith Fritz, the 4th Sevenoaks player into double digits this afternoon. Now Renee Bush, the only starter not in double digits, but Bush has 9 points to go with 5 rebounds and 3 steals. As Nolan in on the high-low. Good work by the Eagles to take advantage inside of the mismatch. Bland to Katie Nolan. And Nolan, who has had an inefficient afternoon by her standards, was 4 of 13 at 30% prior to that attempt, able to convert, as Monicana finds Fritz, fakes right, drives left, nowhere to go. Good defense by Lewis to cut off. Monicana going to fire at the 3 to beat the shot clock, can't go. Great box out by Bland, and Marina Fernandez able to come away with it. Eagles trailing by 19 points. Bland to Lewis, goes to the left-handed hook shot, and she will get the Eagles into a 17-point deficit. We have seen crazier things happen in the WBBL. Never rule out a comeback, as Monicana dribbles it out, finds Fritz. Len Bush is not happy. Arguments between Len Bush and Renee Bush, as Bradshaw blocked by Rachel Bland. Nolan with the rebound. I expect we might see a timeout, as Fernandez finds a wide open Bland for 3. Knocks it down. Timeout, Sevenoaks Suns, as the Newcastle Eagles jump into a 7-2 run to start the 4th quarter. And we will take a quick break here from the Surrey Sports Park.
short was by Rachel Black. It was called 2 points. So 68-53 with 7:07 to go.
Welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park. Correction on that attempt by Rachel Bland. The referees have given it as a 2. And the scoreboard was a little bit slow updating. So it's an 8-2 Eagles run to start the 4th quarter. We've got 7:07 left in the ball game, and it's Sevenoaks 68, Eagles 53. So 15-point deficit for coach NOELIA CACHEIRO to try and rescue here with her Eagles side. And Eagles now showing a bit of pressure. And it'll be Renee Bush to bring the ball up against Fernandez. Congleton gets inside. Monicana left wing free, and string music. Janice Monicana definitely was looking to retire too early based on performances. She's up to 22 points personal. Tied game high with Antoinette Lewis. Lewis and Monicana going each other at the other end. Nolan offensive rebound, and Julia Koppel is done for the afternoon. Foul on the putback, and that'll be her 5th personal foul. And that will see Judith Fritz back into the game. But Koppel, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals and 4 blocks this afternoon in just over 23 minutes of action. As Katie Nolan to the free throw line. Eagles only 8 of 16, 50% from the line this afternoon. Left a few too many points on the board, no doubt, as Nolan makes both. And she will go to 14 points personal along with 17 rebounds. As Congleton dribbles the ball off Bland's foot, and Arnold will come up with it, and then she will have tied up by Bradshaw. So possession arrow favouring the Suns, and they will have a discussion about, are they going to give Molly Arnold possession and therefore a reset of the shot clock on the jump ball, or will the shot clock need to have come down? I think personally Arnold had possession, but we'll see what the referees and table come up with. And I'm sure Bradshaw would probably like possession to be given to Arnold, because that would be an extra steal for her. That would be her 7th of the afternoon if they do give it. And it looks like they're not going to say Arnold never had full possession. So shot clock, just a small tweak, down to 13 instead of 14. And Sevenoaks will find Monicana left wing, same spot, this time just a little bit too strong. And Rachel Bland with her 2nd rebound of the afternoon. Bland, one of 3 Eagles in double digits. And she'll bring it over to hand it off with Fernandez. Lewis and Fernandez trying to work the 2-player game. Fernandez inside, ball deflected. Last touch, Lewis, so Sevenoaks ball with 6 minutes to go as the Suns lead by 16. Monicana working on Nolan, driving, gets a lane, and layup is good. Janice Monicana up to 24 points. As Arnold, pass stolen by Fritsch. Bush to Congleton, she'll lay it home for 2. And any real chance of a Newcastle Eagles comeback has been subsided in the last 90 seconds or so. As the Sevenoaks Suns now lead by 20, as Fernandez stripped by Bradshaw, but last touch by the American guard. And now NOELIA CACHEIRO will head to the bench into the game for the first time this afternoon, wearing 6. Millie Oates, who played in 11 league games back in 2019-2020 for the Eagles, averaging 6.5 minutes through the first 2 contests of the season. Catches the ball, going to drive on Renee Bush. Left-handed layup, a little bit too strong. And Bradshaw able to come down with the rebound. She'll advance it to her compatriot Congleton, who will get the contact from Lewis. Can't quite spin it home off the glass. And Lewis will pick up her 4th personal foul of the afternoon. First team foul for the Eagles. And Deja Congleton will head to the free throw line for the first time as a professional and leave it just a little bit short. Reminder for those of you just joining us late, Congleton only arrived in the UK yesterday morning, but with Sevenoaks short of players, with Katie Cox and Millie Watkins unavailable, and Brittany Hodges still not quite fit, rehabbing from her ACL surgery. Thrust into action this afternoon as Oates hands it to Bland. She'll use the Nolan screen. Nolan will duck in. Bradshaw gets her hands on it. Loose ball will come into Rachel Bland. She has to fire up the 2 to beat the shot clock. And now Suns will come away with a 3-on-2. Bush to Monacana in the paint. Up and under on the pump fake. Janice Monacana lays it home for 2. And a turnover as Lewis steps on the line trying to inbound the ball. And another steal caused, or another violation in this case, caused by the Sevenoaks pressure. And timeout called by the Eagles, who trail 77 points to 55 with 4:24 left of this WBBL championship game.
Up by 22, here come the Suns.
And welcome back to Guildford here at the Surrey Sports Park. First game of a doubleheader. Surrey Scorchers and Leicester Riders will take the court here at the Sports Park at 6 p.m. for BBL action. But first we must finish this WBBL encounter. Sevenoaks Suns leading by 22 over the Newcastle Eagles with 4.5 minutes left this afternoon. See what Coach Len Bush drew up out of the timeout. Bradshaw coming off the screen, going to back it out on Bland. Go isolation, kick to Congleton, corner 3 up. Doesn't drop, but Congleton will chase her own rebound and reverse the ball. Monacana straight away 3, just a little bit off to the right-hand side. And Janice Monacana not quite ready to add to her 26 points personal this afternoon, as Bradshaw hands in the passing lane again. Lewis too short and Fritz unable to convert the fast break layup. As Fernandez into Nolan, stripped again by Bradshaw. And now Suns 2-on-1. Congleton fakes the pass, lays it home for 2. Deja Congleton up to 6 points personal on her professional debut, as Coach Len Bush will send subs to the scorer's table. It's Rachel Bland working on Renee Bush. Will find Fernandez in the high post, receive the screen, and she will pull up and nail the jump shot. Tough afternoon shooting wise for Marina Fernandez. 3 of 13 on the afternoon, but she does have 8 assists and 7 rebounds, as Fritz, left wing 3, a little bit too far to the left. And Antoinette Lewis now working on Fritz, going to try and back her down, go to the fall away jump shot. Nolan there to collect the miss, and Katie Nolan 16 points, 19 now rebounds on the afternoon, and a big start for the Seton Hall Griffins graduate out of Division 2 as Fritz beats Nolan off the dribble, pull-up jump shot short, and Nolan pulls down her 20th rebound. Fernandez and Oates working a 2-on-1 fake pass. Rennie Bush in the charge circle and cannot stop the layup going in. And Coach Len Bush, unhappy with the last sequence, will use his second timeout, or his last timeout of the half. And his Sevenoaks Suns side leading 79 points to 61.
Essex by 8 points to 3. The Leicester London games all square on 13. Sheffield leading Oakland 16 points to 7. Tipping off at 6, Nottingham versus Manchester.
And welcome back once again to Surrey Sports Park. 2:15 left of this WBBL encounter between the Sevenoaks Suns and the Newcastle Eagles. Sevenoaks lead 79-61 as Deja Congleton slips on the floor. Marina Fernandez gets in front of two Suns defenders and lays it home for 2. Fernandez up to 13 points personal, one of 4 Eagles in double digits. As Amber Thompson checking into the game for the first time, can't connect on the 3. Now Lewis in the post, double team, looking for options. Nolan to Fernandez, and short by Marina Fernandez. Nolan couldn't quite spot Rachel Bland on the opposite side of the court, who was open after the double team. And it'll be Suns once again to inbound the ball. Janice Monacana still in the game on those 26 points personal. It's Congleton to Monacana. 10 on the shot clock. Monacana guarded by Lewis, who's had a strong debut for the Eagles. That'll definitely be a positive. As Fritz, baseline, nowhere to go. He's going to have to force it up to beat the buzzer and cannot get a good shot off. So good defensive sequence by the Eagles. Forces just a 10th turnover this afternoon for the Suns. As we're into the final minute. Reminder, once this game is done, if you stay on the WBBL YouTube channel, you'll be able to find one of 3 4 p.m. tip-offs that is underway. Games in Essex, Leicester and Sheffield. As Bland straight away 3 doesn't go. Lewis, offensive rebound and putback is good. So Antoinette Lewis up to 24 points, 13 rebounds. And the combination, her and Nolan combined for 40 of the Eagles' 63 points. Chloe Gaynor in kit but has not played today. As Fritz fakes the handoff with Richards, finds Monacana, going to have a room left drive, goes through the chest of Rachel Bland, but referee disagrees and will call a blocking foul, and Monacana will have a chance for a 3-point play. In fact, they're going to call a reach-in. They're going to call a reach-in on Lewis prior to the charge by Bland, so Lewis fouls out of the game. The Eagles coaching staff want to clarify what's going on. And indeed it is. The reach in prior to the charge by Bland. So Bland took position, and Antoinette Lewis's debut for the Eagles comes to an end.
Well played, Lewis. Well played.
38 minutes, 24 points, 13 rebounds. And the Eagles front court moving forward looks in a strong position with the trio of Lewis, Nolan and Gaynor. Monicana makes her free throw. She is a perfect 7 of 7 from the line and up to a game high 29 points. As Marina Fernandez in what should be the Eagles' last possession, working on Thompson. Thompson jumps in the air on the fake, can't get to go. Nolan fouled on the putback by Katie Richards. And Nolan will go to the line. Nolan 4 of 5 this afternoon. Eagles with 50 of their 65 points coming from the paint or the free throw line prior to this set of attempts by Nolan. And she makes the first. And if you stay with us post game, we will go courtside and catch up with head coach of the Sevenoaks Suns, Len Busch, as Katie Nolan makes the second, reduces the deficit to 15 points. It was a game high 24 for the Suns as Deja Congleton dribbles the ball into the front court and the clock will wind. Final score here from the Surrey Sports Park: Sevenoaks Suns 82, Newcastle Eagles 67. Janice Monicana 29 and 7. And Ariane Bradshaw with 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists and 7 steals. And Judith Fritz and Julia Koppel both also getting into double figures for the Suns. As for the Eagles, 24 from Lewis, 17 from Katie Nolan, and 13 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists for captain Marina Fernandez. And Sevenoaks Suns will move to 2-1 on the league season. And they will have a week off with the WBBL Cup next week and their bye. And they will then head to Caledonia to play the Gladiators in a potential top 4 matchup. And Newcastle Eagles next week will be on the road in the Cup to the Essex Rebels. And stay with us and we'll head down courtside now and get reaction from coach Len Busch.
So, hope you enjoyed the action here in Surrey Sports Park. Congratulations to the Suns. Commiserations to the Eagles. Safe cheering to the Newcastle Eagles. Next up will be the Surrey Scorchers. It's, I think, 6 o'clock they're going to be up.
And welcome back to Surrey Sports Park, now joined by Sevenoaks Suns head coach Len Busch. Len, 15-point victory, just what are your thoughts about the game overall?
We're just going to keep getting better. There were positives, there were things that we didn't do very well, but we're a little short-handed at the moment. It was nice to see Deja Congleton come in and give us some good minutes. She just got off the plane yesterday, so we'll just keep working and keep getting better. So I'm happy with the win.
And obviously Janice today, 29 points personal, obviously managed to lure out of retirement, a big win for you, but how is it important is it her to continue playing at this level, with, especially while you're short-handed?
Well, it just shows she was outstanding, first of all, but it also shows the depth of our team. I think Newcastle was determined to limit Renee after 2 big games in the beginning, and that opens it up for others. You just can't focus on one player, and then it opens lanes, and we got lots of people that can score.
And then 67, probably a little bit too high for your liking, but talk about the impact on the defensive end, especially by Bradshaw now, passing lanes, deflection, steals, and that did allow you to get some few transition points today as well.
She's unbelievable on defense. She told me she doesn't worry about big players posting her up. They used to try it all the time in college, and she was the Atlantic 10 Defensive Player of the Year, and there was a reason for that. Fast hands.
And now obviously a cut round, so you get the bye, obviously with the second seed from last year, so a week off. What are the priorities you're going to be looking forward to before you go up to Scotland in a couple of weeks' time?
Well, we're going to keep working on our defense. We're going to get a little sharper on offense. There were chances for us to take advantage of certain things, and we didn't do it very well. I think second half we didn't score quite as many points. So I'll look at the video and come up with a plan for the week.
Len, thank you very much for your time, and that'll do it here from Surrey Sports Park. WBBL Championship final result, Sevenoaks Suns 82, Newcastle 67, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Mike.